cells. Tonight on Spent Psych, what are we going to discuss, Spent? Syria and the facts behind it. So if you don't mind, we're going to play our intro, and then we're going to get on with the show. Ready to hit up, Spent?
Rock and roll.
Let's cash in.
Just in case I face another wrong way, I feel I have to say, go, don't wanna run away, no, I got a red motorcycle that I drive at night, I got a mind mission, but I can't do it right. I hope to stay me down and laugh and know what it's like. Maybe I can get some rest. Forget what you like. I got a red motorcycle that I drive at night. I got a mind mission, but I can't do it right. I hope to stay me down and laugh and know what it's like. Maybe I can get some rest. Forget what you like. Throw my walls away. Now my way is safe, and then I found my place on a big display. I feel I have to say, go, just run away. No.
Alright, we are live back on Spent Psych. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are experiencing sharing issues with tonight's show, you know, sometimes Facebook can be a little bit of a case of the oddity. They don't want information to get out there. So if you are having difficulty seeing tonight's show, you will see it. Don't worry. If not, please tune in. Nevertheless, Spent is on time. The dog has been taken out. I damn well better not get any interruptions. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I better not wake nobody up. Nevertheless, I'm going to make as noise I can get away with. Spent, what you got to say?
We're just trying to get some people to tune in. It's late. Yeah, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. We got some shit to talk about Syria. I just want to get some people who's still up that I can see are on Facebook in here. Might want to start tagging a couple of people, see if they want to, like, even ask some questions and, you know, just type on, you know, Facebook and leave comments below and questions below. We can answer them online, too, possibly as an idea. Just we're getting such a late start and such a, you know, this is just kind of just happened real quick here.
Well, actually, in reality, it happened real late because we were supposed to start at, like, what time?
Yeah, we were supposed to start earlier and then realized there was something else going on at the time, and then we had to wait, and then it was like, okay, are we going to do this or not? And we were tossing around the idea.
We knew.
You know, I was talking to a bunch of different people and doing some other stuff, had some other stuff going on. So, well, here we are at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're trying to get people listening.
Hey, Spence like AM.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave some on your comments here. Okay, like who's listening?
Well, I think before you, as you don't
read that well.
All right, well, I'm gonna tell you about what I think this whole. We were talking about it before we did the broadcast, like hours before. Basically, my whole take on this whole Syria thing is it's another Arab Spring playbook, another Gulf War II playbook, another Gulf War I playbook. It's the same playbook. It's the same. It's the same battle plan, run by the UN, forwarded by the United States government. It's what it is.
Yep.
It's all it appears to me like. So what's your take on it?
There's many playbooks, and this is definitely one to me. As far as the chemical attacks, I think they happened. I think there was chemical, attacks. I don't think that was a false flag, but what I think the false flag is all about, really, if we're going to start crying false flag. And, me, I'm one of the last guys in the movement that's just going to start crying false flag about shit,
Or flat Earth, or Apollo moon landing.
I'm just, let's get our facts straight first, give it time, be patient, all of that. You know how my belief system works. And when we'll eventually talk about that in another show. Belief systems is a whole other show, but right now we're talking about Syria. But this definitely is, as far as blaming Assad for this, to me, it's a false flag right there. I'm still waiting for proof. I've asked people tonight. I've looked through alternative sources. I've looked through. We all know what the mainstream's doing.
Oh, yeah.
They have not produced any proof that it's coming that Assad did it, but
what's
running
really
with that narrative, and they forgot about that was the whole proof thing was 2 days ago. That was, forget about it. No, it was him. Let's just run with the narrative now. And that's all they've been doing. They've already, assumed he did it. And
I'm also...
it's not all... That's not just the Fox News, who's a Republican. It's MSNBC, too, Rachel Maddow and them.
Oh, my goodness. I was just going to bring her up. You notice how nobody, has a brain and, really takes news seriously, especially MSNBC and Rachel Maddow? It's so funny how I watched her... yesterday, before I came on the Friday Night Super Show, and I noticed a bit of the reverse psychological tactic I noticed she's using in her news just to get people to listen to her. Because this is how she does shit. Because she knows people hate her guts. She knows she's barely hanging on by a thread when it comes to ratings, if there's such a thing as stats when it comes to MSNBC and CNN and so on. If there was such a thing as stats, we wouldn't have a voting system. If we really want to be honest, everybody would know their vote didn't count. But with that all being said, yeah, Rachel Maddow came out with something that I thought was classic. Because now she seems to be using the psychiatrist, what's this term? The Sigmund Freud denial argument, but reverse the language with the news and how she reports subjects on Trump. Because it's the way she, said it about when the bombing happened. She said, everybody was angry at him, and then all of a sudden he bombed someone, and then everybody just calms right down. She knows no one fucking listens to her anyway. But she throws the fucking obvious thing that we're thinking, knowing that real people wouldn't be watching her just because the dumbos wouldn't hear her say it. That would get it.
Either way, bro, the fact is that the mainstream media is backing all this shit.
Yeah, and another thing that's really funny about all this, there's a reason why I'm the psych part of Spent Psych. He's the spent, I'm the psych. We're the spent cycle. He's the one that gets drunk. I'm the one that takes meds, and I push buttons to figure this shit out. Who'd have thunk, huh? Keep going.
Hey, who'd have thunk it? But listen about Rachel Maddow and any of these, I got a cigarette in my mouth, here we go. Any of these jokers that are on the mainstream media, they're all paid by the same corporate cocksuckers that are a part of this stuff. So they're obviously all going to be all pro-war, which they always are. War is money to them. So that's exactly what I wanted to talk about. From the top to the bottom of dissecting what was really going on with Syria. You know, and again, you were saying they like all these false flags, you know, like weapons of mass destruction. There's, you know, take your pick. I've got a crazy ass animal coming right at me here through these woods.
Alright. Do you owe him money?
Sounds like a dog or a deer, but it's probably a raccoon or a...
Nah, I didn't know you could get drunk with those guys down in Florida. I
Probably
mean, I know you have Florida gators, but... Alright, come on, let's
I
take
can
this
hear him, I just can't see him. But anyways,
I hope
keep
not.
my eyes open right now, see what's coming. But anyways, as far as this, I got distracted from the whole Syria thing here.
Also, you saw a raccoon and you're like, oh man, does he have a shotgun? Do I owe him money?
Nah.
You sure it wasn't a guy with a raccoon cat?
I can hear him back there. They can hear me though too, so they know.
Oh, you better watch out. It might be flat earthers.
Flat Earth. I don't know. I take my chance with the raccoon.
Yeah, I didn't know they were. Oh, flat earthers. That would make sense. Flat earther with raccoon caps.
Okay. Listen. Get back area here.
All right.
Okay. What the mainstream media is trying to, they've already taken the narrative that he's used, it was Assad that used the chemical weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So they've taken that ball, they've run with it. There's no, you know, when was the last time it was like, okay, where is the proof? There's still no proof. And if we remember 2 years ago, they tried the same shit twice. Or not 2 years ago, I think it was like 4 years ago, right?
Oh my goodness.
And again, guys, look, I'm spanking. I'm not the best with numbers.
Oh, you're bad.
Links or anything else. I just get the gist of it, and everything I get the gist of can be backed up with numbers, dates, and links and everything else. Okay, so I'm just doing it in layman's terms here, spec-head terms. Here's the gist of the things, okay?
You notice he said layman's, not layman's.
Like 4, I guess. They had chemical weapons that went off, and they tried to blame Assad. And McCain was up there screaming and crying, and all those same jokers. And UN found, it was the UN, I know everybody doesn't take the UN seriously, but the UN found it was actually the rebels that were doing it. So that didn't work, nothing happened. So then they tried it again like 6 months later. Once again, the same fucking scenario, okay? You know, I just found out the rebels did it.
You know,
okay?
really, you know what I find? Go ahead and finish.
But it didn't matter. And by then, the American people spoke up and said, no, we're not going to go to war. We don't want this. Everybody was, piping against doing this shit. And so it never happened.
Read my lips.
Yeah, it never happened. So,
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You made me lose my point again there, bro.
We'll get it back. You'll lose your
license.
license.
Beer, yes, I love beer. I'm drinking beer. Anyways, so the Syria, the whole chemical, it was the rebels that did it. They proved it. They took away his chemical weapons. There was another point here I was just trying to make about when they proved it 4 years ago. Okay, the narrative, though, still stayed the same through the mainstream media. You still had John McCain coming on Fox News a year later and saying, remember, Assad used those weapons. And you had him on the O'Reilly show saying that shit. You had him on MSNBC saying that shit. You had him on CNN. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. If you say enough, people start believing it. And that's what they did. And McCain's been doing it. I've been pointing this out for years. For years, I've been pointing this out, and McCain's still fucking chirping that shit.
Why doesn't he just retire?
Wrong.
I mean, that was brought up. That was brought up. I don't remember if it was you or if it was Dennis. Why doesn't McCain just retire? He can.
That was me.
That was you,
earlier.
yeah. Last night we were talking.
We can get to that, but let's not stray too far from the point here. He's a puppet of the CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, if people know what that is. Puppet of the strong arms of the banks and the industrial military complex. That's why he doesn't retire, because he's owned and he's a psychopath. But
he probably hasn't had his batteries needed to be changed.
He starts squawking and crying, and saying, keeps telling everybody that Assad's got to go, Assad's got to go. This guy, he's senile, whatever. But he's doing his job, and that's his job, and it's convinced the American people that we need to go to war with Syria. Well, the end game is definitely Iran. There's pipelines, and of course there's Iran's oil.
Oh, brother.
They want to take over as far as the powers that be, which is the American government, the John McCain's, the deep state. They want, the bankers. They want that oil so they can sell just solely through the American dollar, the petrodollar. And guess who doesn't want that? Well, let's talk about Russia and China. Well, they don't want that because they'll stand to lose lots and lots and lots of money having to convert the American dollar to buy their oil. So, they don't want that. So this is the verge of World War III, guys. And,
the American standard. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Yeah, I don't think the Russians will like that.
This is deep. It's all a big money play. There's absolutely no proof whatsoever that I've looked for that says that Assad used these chemical weapons. Okay, let's make the assumption now that he did. Let's go ahead and go on that route and talk about that, right? Let's just say he did use those chemical weapons and he's killing his own, which is complete. Besides the proof, let's just say this is complete illogical, fucking crazy-ass suicide. Because just a week ago, Trump and his boys were just saying, no, Assad's not on our radar no more, blah, 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 we got other things to do. And, of course, John McCain was the one that squawked up and got all pissed off, started talking shit. And then a few days later, then there's this chemical attack, and it's Assad again. But why the fuck would he do that? He's sitting pretty. Wasn't he supposed to go to, like, a summit in a couple of days? And he's
something
already
like
won?
that, yeah.
The people are happy. He's already won. He's going to a peace summit and everything else. Oh, no. Also, McCain starts squawking. And
you know what really gets me?
Then it's Assad that did it, and then the media's going to run with it. See what's going on here. And everybody's going to believe it. But that's really suicide. It doesn't make sense. Why would he do that? It's not going to benefit him. Who benefits from this? Right now, McCain and them, the war hawks, and the bankers, they're benefiting. He's not benefiting from it. He just got one of his air bases bombed.
Yeah, I can tell you this, man.
If he actually did that, then he deserved to get his ass bombed. But it just doesn't make sense why he would do that. It's suicide for him. I've used that term now. I found it from somebody else in the alternative media. But it's perfect description of it. It's actually suicide. Why would you do that? You're sitting pretty. You've won. You're going to go to peace summit. Why would you turn that shit on your own people and just make a monster out of yourself so everybody can attack you? That's not logical. It doesn't make sense. And in the wise words of Judge Judy...
No, don't get me started. Because I can't get started in the courtroom.
In the wise words of Judge Judy...
Oh, you had to do it again.
If something doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. You see what I'm saying, man? If it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. This shit does not make sense. So now for 1 minute, I'm buying that he did this in the first place, and then the fact that there's no proof. Then the mainstream media just takes it, and Bill O'Reilly and Matt Ritchie, all of them just take it and run with it. Brian Williams says, this is beautiful that Trump did that. Everybody's united behind Trump now. Nothing like a war to reunite all the libtards and conservatards together to wrap themselves in a flag and sing Kumbaya and the Star Spangled Banner at the same time. Nothing like that. This is what's going on, guys. It's all about the money. It's all about the power play. They got to have this war. They got to take out Assad, weaken Iran, get to Iran's oil, and bam, end game. They control all the oil, all the bankers profit, and Russia and China get fucked. Also, it'll lower their deficit. It's not going to affect us anyway. It's not going to help us. If it'll help us, okay. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the human race. It helps them. the psychopaths. So that's summed up as quick as I can. I'm going to go ahead. I'm talking too long and let you say something there, Biggie. Sorry about that. But
no problem, man. Get it off your chest. Besides, beer stains very much, especially when you talk too much while you drink. But anyway, I'm busting your chops.
And I pull out the knowledge bomb, though, here. I can still keep going, too.
Yeah, well, you just think, you know what they say when you
what's
talk
going
too much.
on from the Federal Reserve, head of the snake,
Yeah.
all the way to the problem and what the solution is.
Well, the solution, I'm not much of a solution person. Button pusher, yes. Solution person, we're supposed to have elected officials for that, but they don't seem to know what they're doing. But anything other than that, I can tell you this. Remember when the whole Arab Spring happened? I'm just bringing this back into focus. I don't want anyone to forget that. Remember the former leader of Egypt before they got him out of there? Before they really got him out of there? It was so horrible. You know what I'm saying? And
yep.
Originally, he was fine with Israel. Remember that? He was perfectly fine with them. Didn't have any beef with them. Had no real anger towards them. I'm just bringing this into focus of, wait a minute. We're supposed to be, everyone's supposed to think, outside of the box when it comes to, Israeli foreign policy. It's all about just stirring things up. It has nothing to do with anything. I can tell you right now, I went through 3 churches, 3 bad marriages. I'm approaching light work tech as far as my mind is at right now. Just saying that for future references. I'm up for the light work idea. But, just for ideas. But, nevertheless, everybody who's not a Christian, even those who are, thinks that Israel is the centerfold of the universe. If Atlas were to be holding up the flat Earth right now, it'd be like holding a giant meatball. It'd be like holding a giant fucking meatball on a pizza pan, and the pizza's buried underneath a crater of meatball, and hold the pizza pan on his back as he tries not to drop the meatball out of orbit because the flat Earth would fall right underneath the meatball. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, you people so fucking stupid. It's like I used to be stupid like you. Wake the fuck up. It's like I mean, you have your beliefs, I have mine, but we're gonna leave that at that. But still, it's all about stirring up problems and stirring up strife. And it's the same thing with Gaddafi. The real America does not know what the fuck is going on with Gaddafi. And I'm sorry, I don't trust the soldiers of the ground getting shot up or surviving and getting dismembered unless they wake up to what's really going on due to the fact they have such a thing called military intelligence where they're learning about the bullshit while they're in. Very few soldiers that go through it know what's really happening in the intelligence bracket of it all. Why do you think in original traditional military style things, they put the women in the tactician intelligence officers and the men out in the field, mostly, because if any woman talked, they could beat the shit out of those women. The women had no rights, and that's how it fucking worked. Why do you think that it's kind of been on the in the case of dealing with men in the military, they allowed gay men in the military as well as women. So gay men could dominate the fucking ranks over the little rookies and the foot shit-heel shoes of the private ranks. So if I could say anything less than that, you might want to think before enlisting, boys. It's not going to be a fun thing to get shafted when you find out you're not pulling rank like you used to. So anything other than a bad gun joke, that's not funny neither, is it? So, yeah, you don't want to explode like that. You don't want to enter wars with a shaft. And you definitely don't want a fondle slab attached to another high-ranking officer and have it not be ticking, letting you know, go out there in the front lines, boy, I'm going to shoot you again. Because in reality, that's another way of saying, if you want your caught out there, and you find out what's going on, I'm not racist, I'm not sexist, I have nothing against people, but when you're stuck in a shaft, and your mind becomes the shaft, and you go out there with your general, and you got no insurance except the shaft of your rear, and it's now become a toilet rank joke. It's only because when they get you really brainwashed, how many needle jokes do you need from a psychiatrist's office to let you know the military is not a fun place now? It was never G.I. Joe from the fucking start. G.I. Joe is, and this whole,
informed like
and now that
they don't dig they're told what they're told, and
But the weirdness of it all is, dating back to the Civil War.
Start looking. When they do, they start looking, and you know.
But the sad part is, we have military soldiers that come back and know the truth and tell people. People don't listen. But then we have the Medal of Honor saying, I did this for my country. I lost my arm. I lost my leg. I demand my rights. You're lucky to be alive. But the point is, they're going over there and they're doing these wars. They're going over there. They're doing these wars. And it's sad because they get in, they don't expect it to be like what we're saying. But when they get over there, it's like being an immigrant in the ancient days, coming over and finding out our streets aren't made of gold. It's like, oh my God, what did I sign up for? And it's not easy to get out like it used to be.
All right.
I'm sorry, I had to be brutal. I couldn't help it. Because these people need
I'm just saying, you know, getting to the point, you know, of what when you're talking about the people that join the army and go over there and do that shit in the military or whatever.
They're in this fight.
They're like trying to just do something like to progress themselves in life, get some student loans paid for, and etc.
But they're getting more than what they bargained for. That's what the point needs to be made.
We need to be talking about. If we're talking about, you know.
But if we're going to talk about the war, let's talk about the lives going in too, because it's a serious freaking topic. We're not just dealing about false flags. We're dealing about the people going in and doing this shit.
Man, it's all about the money. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like, again, it's about the oil, the money, power. If they get a hold of Iran, being the powers that be, you know, the U.S. government's involved, Israel's involved, you know, and Saudi Arabia, it's all American dollars. These people control the world, and that's it. You know, there's others that aren't part of it. They're always being bombed by the enemy, but they're bad too. You know, it's not like you can get behind Russia. You know, you can get behind, Iran or anybody else. But this is a chess game with psychopaths.
Oh yeah.
And in the long run, it could kill us all. And so, yeah, I could just drag this into like this is what you get when you have government. You know, this would not happen under freedom because there would be no need for any of this. And there wouldn't be. Everything's a fight for the mighty dollar. You know, it's like they want to make that the U.S. dollar, so they'll be in total control. That's it of the oil, and then China and Russia would get in a weaker stance, and they don't want that. And it's just dangerous. The whole thing's dangerous. It's sickening. It's sickening that this is like what we have to deal with in life.
Yeah.
Even on work just to fucking pay for this nonsense, and we work like slaves and pay them to do this nonsense. You know how much every single one of those missiles, those Tomahawks that we sent, what are they, about $1 million something each?
Probably about that.
We sent about 60 of them. That's $60 million. Forget about everything else that was all the other expenses. We just spent $60 million. You know what you can do with $60 million to help people out in this country, in this world, the vets, everybody else. I mean, if we're going to have a government, we're going to have to pay taxes because taxation is theft. Well, at least let's stop doing this shit with this money and start helping people with that money.
I hear you.
Until we fix the government and get rid of the government altogether, if we're going to have government, at least let's do it the semi-right way and helping people instead of killing people and bombing and, you know, what does it cost? About $35 billion to feed every man, feed, clothe, and house every man, woman, and child on this planet. It costs about maybe $65 billion. Yet, how much do we spend on defense every year in our budget? $800 billion, $900 billion counting. The next 7 countries combined don't spend as much as we do in 1 year. And the second one up, by the way, guys, is Saudi Arabia. What a surprise. Yeah, again, Nixon made that deal with Saudi Arabia back in the day to get out of the gold standard to get into the dollar standard and say, hey, we'll protect your oil fields as long as, you sell your oil through our dollar. Well, here we are 40-some years later. Here's Syria and Iran.
Yeah, that's real, man. That's really real, and you know, it's just the way it is. I tagged you in that post, by the way. I shared it out again. So
Yeah.
just it's
Cool.
there.
Yeah, I think people are getting it now. I know there are people that were listening that were tuned in.
All right, well, it's out again, and I just took care of that part. So
Cool.
sorry, buddy.
But yeah, I mean, you look at you look at the whole situation. It's all about oil, money, and power. It's all about the dollar. It's all about the dollar. The central bankers, of course, the ones who create that dollar, they're in charge, and the corporations, and then the paid off politicians there. So the industrial military complex, the big pharmaceutical complex, they're all in. Just the corporations are just paying off our government officials to make shit better for them and just make us slaves. And we outnumber them. If everybody woke up, if everybody would just wake the fuck up. We outnumber them. All we have to do is say no. 2 simple fucking letters. N-O. N-0. No. If we all just said no, they would cease to exist. They'd become obsolete. They wouldn't have anything. They'd be begging. They'd be pulling our coattails. They'd probably be starting protests. You're supposed to remember us. Hillary Clinton be out there with a megaphone. You should remember us. We're just we're in the buildings. We're just living anarchy, doing our thing. They'd become obsolete. Just two little letters. N-O. No. We do not comply. For all of us. We do not. If all of us did not comply. That's it. We don't need no machine guns. We don't even need a toothpick to stick in somebody's ear. Or eyeball or whatever. We don't need anything. There would be no violence. It'd just be the end of them. If you don't recognize them, they're not there. If all of us recognize ourselves, but not them, they're not there. They become obsolete. They become nothing. I think obsolete's the right word, right?
Oh yeah.
Nothing, become nothing. They'd cease to exist because their system would cease to exist, and we would do our own thing without them. And that's what it has to be. Once you get your revolution, you got to figure out what to do from there. Don't replace it with more government. That's all I say, kiddies. I won't be around when this happens, but I'll be long gone. But just don't replace it with more government. Replace it with self-ownership, freedom through the non-aggression principle, anarchy, voluntarism.
Whew.
Simple. Very simple solution. Pro-freedom. That's all you got to say. I'm pro-freedom.
No doubt. Well, I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know what else to think.
That's it. I mean, that's the solution. I mean, here, we can see what the problem is, with government. We can see what the problem is with tyrants and greedy people in a money-based system of greed. Gold, oil, and drugs. God.
No doubt.
They're all making money of it, and you have the good guys and the bad guys. What's legal or what's not legal, it's all an illusion. Authority is a belief in authority is what we have to teach the human race to not have anymore. Belief in authority that makes these people slave and pay and do nothing. And then, they reward us a little, here you go, you can vote. Here you go, you vote, and make yourself feel better.
Voting. Like, that changes everything from session to session.
And make you feel better. I like to cast my ballot at the same time when I scratch my bottom of my nuts. It really feels good.
The red, please. No, I'll take the blue.
Yeah, so my point being, you guys can catch that. So,
just take too much of me, you'll be calling somebody, I assure you.
Government. So we have a serious situation because of government.
I tell you.
But one thing government has in common always is money too. The people that have the money, create the money, make the money. Obviously, the central bankers are the head of the snake, top of the pyramid there, but corporations, government, and then you know where the rest of us are. We're way down in the swamp working like slaves, and then paying them to keep going and do what they're doing to make themselves richer and better. But we keep doing it, keep doing it, keep, you know, paying our taxes and pledging our votes. And I vote for Trump. I vote for Hillary. I vote for Bernie. I vote for Gary Johnson.
Oh, that feel the burn.
I feel the burn.
Oh man, when I heard feel the burn, I'm like, is that a warning?
Vote for a master. Vote for
feel
yourself.
the burn.
I vote for Spankhead because I'm Spankhead. But you don't need to vote for Spankhead. Vote for yourself. Yeah, of course, Spankhead would be a better vote than Hillary Clinton, right, bro? I mean, you gotta agree with that.
All I know is when I heard feel the burn, that sounded like such a warning shot, and like, that just cost him the election. That wasn't a war cry at all. That was a cry for help. Like, I'm desperate. I'm an old fuck. I'm worse than Mr. Burns.
I don't know. Part of that almost seems like a plant too. It's like hard to figure out that he wouldn't. You know, he didn't give up on the Democratic Party. He already conceded to Hillary before the election ever started. He
didn't give up on the Democratic Party. All right, he wanted to make America.
Endorse Hillary, but until then, I'm going to call her a
purple
fucking whore, which she is. And then at the end, he's like, oh, endorse Hillary, you have to have Hillary. You know, it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. You're a sellout. You're just a suck up to the Democratic Party, and you're fucking power-hungry son of a bitch, just like the rest of them, acting like you're like worried about the corporations. No, you want to be the one with the money and be in charge and sucker all your feel the burn fucking people you...
Yeah, the only thing that would have been burning is the money out of your pocket. Now, normally money talks, and before malls leave your wallet, and because that's usually what's in it when you're a 99%er, not what Capital One would try to sell you. Why would they sell you malls?
I think the only one there that's somewhat honest that was running was Jill Stein. And I'm not I would never vote for her to be my master either, or anybody else. Now that I'm, fixed, I'm a freedom guy. But
be careful how you say fixed. You'll give the women the wrong idea.
The most sincere person that's out there, the most real you could probably talk to. And I know a lot of people are big fans of her, so I'm not gonna put her down. I'm not gonna build her up anymore. But except for what I'm saying right now, is like, yeah, she does seem like she was the one that was like closest to a human being that was running for office this whole time. I mean, Gary Johnson's a human being, but he's also a dipshit, so he shouldn't have been running. And of course, Hillary, and then Bernie's full of shit, and then there's Hillary and Trump, which is, what it came down to. So it's a big fucking joke.
Yeah, well.
So if Hillary was in right now, we'd be doing the same damn thing, by the way, guys.
Nah, I doubt she'd be bombing Syria. She might be doing...
Probably would already bomb Syria. She'd already been in there,
Oh, so that place would have been like...
Trump does.
Oh, God, forget it. She would have had it already. All she would have had to do was send Bill to sleep with her daughters. And
or she would have done
probably
something
engaged.
Else. I mean, either way, that wouldn't have been good. Nothing's good with government. So that's the point.
And then all she would have had to do is send Bill in to infiltrate the daughters of the men of Syria. And then...
No, they sent Bill in to check out the interns.
Yeah, the internship would have been very brief in Syria.
I want to check out those interns, so I'm going to go over to Syria and check out some of those interns.
You saw how they took Gaddafi out. They beat him to death to the execution. They totaled Gaddafi all the way to the death row. It's like, normally they drag you, and then they beat you, and then kill you. I don't know who died worse, other than the stuff that they didn't get to the execution. At least Christ went through his crucifixion with a scourging and a beard plucking.
Yeah,
Gaddafi didn't make it to the firing squad.
All right now. All right, so let's focus back on.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help that.
Let's focus back on the Syria message. Fuckery, probably a false flag. at least I don't believe it was a false flag that there was, like, some people don't believe even chemical weapons were used. I believe it was used, but it wasn't used by Assad. It's the same shit they try to do. They've lied twice, they got caught. Now they're trying it again.
Well, what happens when they get caught? What do they do?
They
Get their
think they're
hand
gonna be
slapped by
right down there,
Hillary?
short memories. Well, they're right. That's the problem. I've been starting to see, like, the support now. I was like, you motherfuckers got short memories, don't you? Let's go back to Iraq again. Hey, by the way, he's got weapons of mass destruction in there, so let's go get those too. So
Well, I think we should go to break because we've been
they tried
talking
that with
for a while.
like they want to so bad do that with Iran, nuclear Iran, and Russian aggression.
Russian
It's just nonstop with those fucking warhawks. They got to go.
Yeah. Spent.
Wake up, America.
They've heard that
Wake
before.
up, world.
Spent. Break time.
Unite. Yeah?
Break time. We're playing a song. Song time?
What song?
I don't know. I'm going to pick one. I got a song. And I know what I'm going to play. Hold on.
So I have no choice in this. I'm just going to have to listen to
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry. Sorry about that. I think you
I'm
won't
ready.
mind.
I'm ready. I'm just kidding.
There it
I'm
is.
ready. I want to hear what songs to play. We'll come back to a little bit more if you want. It's up to you, bro.
There it is. It's a brown song. I think it's fine. Like that?
I get up around 7, get out of bed around 9, and I don't worry about nothing.
That was Mr. Brownstone by Guns N' Roses, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. Spent?
We've been dancing with... Alright.
Don't ruin it.
We're back live.
Do not ruin it, please.
Did I ruin that? Damn it.
Nah, not yet. But anyway. So, let me touch on some stuff, because you've been rambling for a while, man. You've been talking on touching some good things, but I barely been able to say a word hardly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, I was just getting everything off my chest, trying to keep everything, like, in proportion best I could, you know, for now, and get to the gist of everything. Just get, you know, just everybody get the gist of what's really going on. You know, the money trail, follow the money trail. And notice I didn't bring up one flat Earth alien or Klingon. So,
no, I was cracking jokes on that earlier.
Yeah, I just stand on point, and I feel like I got that shit off my chest now. Like, if anybody's got questions, I can answer more.
Well, I'd like to touch
stay tuned for see what happens after this, you know.
Well, I'd like to
if they prove that he did use the chemical weapons, well, then it's not the same false flag that I thought it was, that he actually used them.
Yeah, it's not the one.
So far, it just doesn't make sense for him to use that weapon, those chemical weapons. It's ridiculous. And the trust of mainstream media is just running with it now without any proof. It's just disgusting. And it could lead to doom. So everybody keep on point and just keep, you know, questioning and watching.
All right. Well,
if he did use them, Trump bombed him, that's it. Walk away. Get out of there. I'm always for getting out of there. There's no reason to be in there in the first place.
So Trump has been blown out of the Bible. Anyway, so now that we got the spent side of spent psych in the first half, let me use this part of the half to get the psych side of, well, the e-psych side of why I think this thing is so freaking stupid and why we can just sit back and laugh at it and enjoy it like it's a freaking show like Garland tried to teach us how to do. Well, let's see this. Look at the enemy playbook. Different location, same idea, different names, different faces. No matter what happens, if you're on the shit list, fuck Social Security and money, your number's fucking up. It doesn't matter if you're the Beavis and Butthead victims from the Boston bombing. It doesn't matter if you're the 90210 Splinter Cell script from Sandy Hook. It doesn't matter what the fuck you are. If you had a name and you had a number, you could be dead now. They will use your face like Destro in G.I. Joe Retaliation and blow you the fuck away. And, well, actually, no, I got it fucked up. They will use your face up like G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra and then blow you the fuck away in some shaft some damn where. Once Cobra Commander says, you're out of the band. So, anything other than that, this is the playbook. They show it in the movies. We see it, we just miss it. Unless we see it in the fucking movie. And get it on Netflix or maybe. But other than that, yeah, that seems to be the shit that's run every fucking time. And you know what really gets me about this whole thing? We got an enemy called ISIS. A bunch of dudes walking around with a chick goddess name from Egypt. I mean, I thought they hated
people that were backing in Syria, the same people were fighting in Iraq. Same deal, the same group of frickin' bungholes. But go ahead.
Spent, it's my turn now.
I'm just saying, I had to point that out, though, dude.
Yeah, well, you had your turn on the Power Wheels, now it's fine. I'm kidding.
My turn. My turn. Now, go ahead.
But anyway, I'm pulling the batteries from you, Teddy Ruxpin. Anyway, so... this is not real, ladies and gentlemen. This part of the show is not real. It's him and I messing with each other from different states. I'm New York, he's Florida. Anyway... So, basically, this is where this is at. Another thing I'd like to point out is the most messed up about the ISIS caricatures we got made up, and this is a real fight action scene we got going on called War on Terror, which is obviously a Rockefeller spin. I'd like to call it a symbol, because one clash from this titan, it goes on forever. Because once War on Terror is out there as a name, there's no real enemy. Terror can happen anywhere, and anything that fucking happens can be labeled as terror. I can eat a bad chimichanga, and fart a flame, and next to a gas station, and inadvertently blow my ass out. Without any sex attached in a prison cell. But nevertheless, It could be terror because I bought a bad chimichanga from the wrong gas station in the same fucking place. Either way, they were selling bad chimichangas. They're trying to kill our people. Oh, Ian got his ass blown off? Who fucking cares? But we're still gonna bust that fucking place. They were selling people's food stamps for cigarettes. We gotta bust them. Some ass got his ass blown off by a chima. What was it? Oh, wait, chimichanga. Fuck him. We got the place anyway. Yeah, so fuck him. We got the place anyway. No, I am not trying to give you assholes at the State Department, the fucking local PD, because I'm trying to not get my ass blown away anyway. I'm not trying to give you guys any good ideas. I'm finding ideas for my show, even though I don't dodge crossbows just by standing there walking like fucking dog. Anyone in the fucking local area that did that in Smallwood fired a crossbow and I didn't move, it's because I don't fear anyone really but God anyway. Anything from a devil dog joke. Don't fucking mess with me. I do not have brain filling. I have heart. And it comes with evolution and creation and Big Bang. Fuck you very much. Try the cross. Next time, try the machine guns. Fuck chimichangas. I was saying that to my neighbor who shot a crossbow at me one time. The arrow missed. But no shit, that really happened. But nevertheless, yeah, we got ISIS. Okay, but let's look at the line of how this happened. First came the Americans to helping the Middle Easterns fight the Russians in that whole war, right? Way back when, in like the 70s or 80s or something, right? Before I was fucking born.
Well.
Something like that. Okay, hold on. Stop spending your speech out. I'm trying to speak here. I'm trying to hear myself talk. Anyway, so yeah, the Mujahideen begat the Taliban. The Taliban begat Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda begat ISIS, and they're a bunch of guys, and they're wearing pretty much the same gear. If they were wearing pink and sparkling, I'd be shitting myself. Just the thought that might actually be the next op group. Sparkles might be, I am Crimson Sparkles! You fucking, if anyone who calls their terrorist group ISIS and doesn't think it's a bad American B-movie script that we just brought out in real life with no reality TV necessary, come on, America. We're watching this on our TVs. Listen to what your grandparents said, your great-grandparents. Don't believe what you see on that fucking TV. And if your grandparents didn't say that and they didn't have the F word in their vocabulary, they didn't give a fuck about you and they didn't love you at all, you stupid fucks. And I can say that because my grandmother's name was Novel. So you can tell there's a story to be said about that awesome lady. So, go ahead. There ain't no conspiracy theory. That woman was really named that. That's my mom. Anyway, but go ahead. I gotta calm down.
Alright, chimichanga. ISIS. Yeah. The same people. Like I said a few minutes ago, the same people that were fighting in Iraq are the same people who were back in Syria. It was like Russia and Assad were actually killing ISIS, driving them out of there. Well, John McCain can't have that. He actually got pictures of him shaking hands with those guys. Yeah, with them and shit too. Yeah, he's like affiliates of that situation. But when you're in Iraq, I have to be your enemy. I can hear John McCain, my friend. All right, my friends.
Like the servant giving the apple to the woman who later became the teacher of our schools. Sorry, that was bad. I hope I didn't get hurt.
It sounds like a combination of a bunch of different idiots. They all say the same thing, though. They are like 107. They won't retire. God, McCain, you're not getting any younger. You're 807 years old.
I thought it was more than 800.
Retire now. You got a few more years. You could just kick
drop dead.
You got more money you could ever spend, son. You got more money you could ever spend, or your doofy family could ever spend.
Oh, brother.
Enjoy it. I mean, you got the best health care in the world.
It's called government ran it out of the pockets of the taxpayer.
On the beach and sit around a pina colada in your hand and enjoy your life. Stop starting wars. Stop killing people.
And I could hear like a John McCain in a very childlike voice saying, "No, I want to kill people. I'm John McCain."
Right on. Yeah, that's probably.
Yes,
that's
Master.
what he's gonna
I
say.
did good, didn't I? I'm John McCain.
There's a reason why this is called Spent Psych, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I like that. I think it was Dennis that put out the meme like 2 days ago with just John McCain. He's sitting in his like a computer in his office chair or something like that, and he's just got like spunk all over, man. He's just like the biggest fucking orgasm he's ever had, jerking off. We just went to war. We just we just shot missiles at Syria. It's like everything's just like coated with fucking spunk, man. And there's skeet everywhere. And he's just like, this is back at John McCain. Funny as fuck. But yeah, I mean, that's literally what the guy does. You know, he's gonna skeet for war.
I wonder he doesn't have
he gets off on the shit.
There must be. I don't think Rockefeller was the only one with that heart transplant thing going on. I think a lot of old ass politicians have that thing going on that Rockefeller was doing. I just think Rockefeller was the attention that they used to bring us conspiracy theorists focus on Rockefeller before he croaked. And meanwhile, Alex Jones has a arc reactor in his fucking chest with armor on the reserves. And everybody else who's old enough to have the Rockefeller heart, well, he was the test subject while everyone else was getting the immortal heart with the RFID in the fucking
Yeah, I'm
center.
not a big Alex Jones guy, so
I know, I'm cracking up.
Don't like him. Don't listen to him, don't like him. I don't like David Icke. I don't like most of those people. The people I like here in the underground, the real alternative media types.
Well, one thing I can tell you that's been going good today before I came home and actually decided instead of doing the show tomorrow, we were deciding to do the show today. Once again, I'm handing out links for the network again. I mean, I just the other day I met some people here out in the area. I'm not going to say too much about them, but I handed out my old Atari ADHD conspiracy YouTube channel information. No, fucks, man. Why'd you do that? I think this can... Oh, I guess he got tired of me. I guess he didn't want to hear me talk. Okay, well, I was too busy trying to crack open his beer. I'll mess with the phone a little bit and pretend not to dial as I push buttons and say, hey, is this Spent server? I don't know. But as I'm too busy trying to focus on whether or not Spent's going to call, or I'm going to call him, or... I don't know, I think hey, Spent, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I don't know, but I got the bundle slab phone in my hand and I'm waiting for you to call. Are you going to push? Or am I going to push? Are you going to slam down 30 beers before I end the show? Or are you going to call... Oh, let's see, I knew I'd get him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Spent Kent. Did you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Did you hear me on the show?
Yeah,
Oh, you have not been listening to me.
Call back in.
Oh, you have not been listening. How did you get by in school?
You what?
Are you listening to me?
No, on the phone, yeah.
I'm messing with him.
So you must not understand what I'm doing to you right now.
No, I'm lost, dude. Go ahead.
Well, I'm glad you were dumb enough to admit you were lost while we're live on air, but thanks.
I'm always lost, dude. There's nothing new. Everybody knows that. I'm Spent Kent, damn it.
Yeah, he's Spent. I'm Psych, and my mind works faster than a psychiatrist's psycho drill. And, oh my god, did I say drill? Needle? Wait, have I got the scripts yet? Yes, I do, and I'm equipped, and my mind's still working, baby. But anyway, I wasn't talking to Spent. I was talking to you beautiful ladies out there. They're looking for a crazy guy. But anyway, I know that. Spent.
Or a couple of them.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking to you. What are you talking about?
No, I got disconnected, and so I called back. So
Well, you know what I think is a good idea? Since we're not really talking about anything, you know what's a good idea about in a situation like this to not piss off the listeners? It's called music. We're taking a break for a music break. You deserve music, not our bullshit. We'll be right back.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hello, is this thing on? Test. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? I need everybody to back away from the bar. The bartender just found a caterpillar on the bottom of a tequila bottle. It gets me angry. I don't know if it gets you angry, but we're gonna dance tonight. Come on.
Every single time I hear this track, and it makes my heart swell. So I turn back and ask for the scraps and
stray cat. Oh, manage that magic high flow. If you think yours matches my man, it's not so. And you don't know I just transformed the front row into cycles on pogo sticks at gun shows. Not a stunt show, a half booty naked like Squanto, but with Bobo dread stripped about burgundy poncho. Sorta makes an ordinary ninja like me look like an Oakland Raider running back, tackling geeks. Maybe I'm hectic from the helmet to the spikes on my feet. If interested in a blessing with a mic and a beat, the cloud is high cross speed, the crowd will like it indeed. You'll jump around like everlasting in the stifling heat. If you're impressed with the direction that I rock and compete, and chuck your fist up in the sky because the job is complete. Come on. 8,000 RPMs is red line. Chevy in your 4V8 can't touch my board. Bring it in, hanging with 10-second time. Bring it in the full garage. Red line. 8,000 RPMs is red line. Chevy in your 4V8 can't touch my board. Bring it in, hanging with 10-second time. Bring it in the full garage. Red line. With the boondock saints, Jake, it ain't no joke. Cause it's cool and calm, come in the room full of smoke like a broken tape deck in an ancient basement. And the blaze is raging, but the barricades broke. I never serenaded every lady I approach. I'm just soaking up the mocha, sipping cocoa to the throat. Cappuccino, high V's, Matacano when it's cold. Feeling older than Hoboken hobos covered in the clothes. I'm smothering the southern bay, mother to the other ways. Blasting rage like an ambassador from outer space. Hovering to cover day, brother of the ricochet. Crenshaw, chainsaw massacre, Leatherface. Later days, feather-bended pens, several wicked ways. Kick it like a cricket's legs, turpid in the little cage. Taking massive tickets, time is ticking till I hit the stage. Wiggle in my middle, giving praises till the nickel plays. 8,000 RPMs is red line. Chevy in your 4V8 can't touch my board. Bring it in, hanging with 10-second time. Bring it in the full garage. Red line. 8,000 RPMs is red line. Chevy in your 4V8 can't touch my board. Bring it in, hanging with 10-second time. Bring it in the full garage. Red line. This one goes out to L, Scatterbrain, and DJ Nino, 92 in the game. Original red line and shining bright. In fact, my brethren, SP, all the numerous. Rolled up my motor scooter, smoke outside of Hooters. If my lady finds out, there's no doubt I'm getting ruder. It suits me when it's super hot, crows like superhuman. Confused with mighty boy from the truth, or the untrue. I'm a cold cotton's country sucker chumps with an uppercut. Roughing up these diamonds, stunning busters till they pucker up. I'm tough enough to run them over with a pickup truck. I scrape them off the pavement with a shovel, brother. Listen up, this is for the clan, for the tribe, for the crew. This is for the clique, for the mob, for the youth. This is for the red, for the white, and the blue. This is for the who, the true. 8,000 RPMs is red line. Your Chevy in your Ford V8 can't touch my Ford. Bring it in, hanging with 10-second time. Bring it in the full garage. Red line. 8,000 RPMs is red line. Your Chevy in your Ford V8 can't touch my Ford. Bring it in, hanging with 10-second time. Bring it in the full garage. 8,000 RPMs is red line. Your Chevy in your Ford V8 can't touch my Ford. Bring it in, hanging with 10-second time. Bring it in the full garage. Red line. 8,000 RPMs is red line. Your Chevy in your Ford V8 can't touch my Ford. Bring it in, hanging with 10-second time. Bring it in the full garage. Red line.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back live and we are ready.
Ready to rock.
Yes. So, basically, now that we're back on and calmed down after all that riffraff from before, pardon me.
I heard he was talking shit about me, guys. I know, y'all listening.
Yeah, I was goofing. He wasn't listening, though. He wasn't paying attention.
No, I don't have the show on. I was just trying
No,
to
he doesn't
get
have
on the
it.
phone, man.
I'm spent, Ken. I don't listen to my own shows. I don't listen to my own shows. I listen to everybody else's because I'm a certified member of Anonymous and I listen to you.
Who says that?
I don't know. Who says that?
Definitely not me.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you never said it.
Yeah, I'm
I lied!
sorry. I guess you could call me certified member anonymous. Not really.
How does that even happen?
But I like Anonymous, man. Anonymous is just a tool, like I've always said.
Yeah, they even got their own search engine.
Radio is a tool. Anonymous is a tool.
Yeah.
Everything's a tool you can use to get the message out, to plant seeds and wake people up to do the job that we need to do as activists.
Yeah, I'm a member of the certified member of the Yale University Anonymous Frat Group. We got buttons, we got dunce caps, we got computer hacking gloves, we got all kinds of great treats, and we even got autographed pictures of Weezer and Revenge of the Nerds on her Guy Fawkes masks. Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
Yeah, I hate to say though, you're kind of right there. It really has become something like that with a lot of people in Anonymous. It's like now it's become more of a social thing on social media more than ever, and there's all these new people coming in, and it's just like, what is going on? What's happened to Anonymous? But anyways, I know the people I know, and what I do, we all good. So, Anonymous is just it's an idea and it's a tool to use to unite people and get people waking up and asking questions and stuff. So.
One thing I can
knocking when it's working, when it's not working is when everybody's just bullshitting around on social media, on Facebook, and just make it into a social club. So
one thing I'm grateful for.
I said the same shit on last show.
Yeah. One thing I am grateful for is the people that I met in Anonymous in the last 4 years have been strong to the core, hard to the core, real deal people, and a lot of them I met were not keyboard warriors only. That's the best part. They were the Annons. They were the Annan bombs. I love those guys and gals of the groups of all the different sects, and that's SECS.
Yeah,
yeah, I wasn't trying to promote myself as anything but a straight man right now.
Well, I mean, I've got my own sector, so I mean, I the only thing I really do with Anonymous, I mean, I know the people I know I trust. I interact with them, support them. I mask up with them anytime. Anytime you want me to mask up, I will. I'm just not playing the internet games. But when it comes to masking up, yeah, I will. And I roll with my own sector. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say what it is, but it's people just my people I trust.
Yeah, I gotta be careful. Sometimes I say sex about Anonymous. They think, dude, what kind of fun boy frat queer party you a part of? I'd be talking to Hicks about them, like Anonymous members. And they think I'm some kind of fruit.
There's all the crazy stuff going on. There's like clown guys doing clown sec and wait a sec and.
But they don't understand how I really met.
Anti-anonymous and they're doing their own thing over there. So much division in the movement. It's disgusting.
But when you talk to a person.
I roll with my boys. I go ahead and say rough sec, man. Represent rough sec.
Well, if I were to say rough sec to anyone out here that didn't understand you, and me and the guys at rough sec, and they would misunderstand me, they'd be like, dude, I didn't know. I'm like, no, you misunderstood. You misunderstood.
We part of this op that. Those are people who are doing their own thing. It's just people I trust, and other people that are still in, part of Anonymous I trust and roll with. There's people I mask up with, and those are the real deal. And those are the people, I still believe in Anonymous through those people. So, but I do agree. I mean, I understand Anonymous is just about become a big joke today to a lot of people. It's really become a joke, and it's because a lot of newbies coming in there with they call them new fags or whatever. They come in there with their masks, and it's a social club, and they're just starting trouble and drama, and they're just nothing but a bunch of armchair activists, keyboard warriors, and you got that going on fine, whatever.
Behold of my death ray from Minecraft.
I know when the Spin Cat walks up, you understand one of the big dogs is walking around. That's all I got to say. Right on. I'm just fucking with y'all, but go ahead, bro.
Yeah, well, the one thing I definitely want to elaborate on this whole thing is, a lot of people, take labels and they take ideas and they go, because one thing I definitely want to elaborate on what Anonymous was, because I didn't get into the movement. I always want to mention this, and I always want to elaborate on this. When I got into the movement, it was in 2014 officially, because I had all that battle in 2013 I went through. Enough about that. However, I was just getting into it. Remember we talked about this last week? Yeah, we did. So when I'm just getting into Anonymous, I was told I would really do shows with people and discuss the things and what would take place when people heard Anonymous in days of when it was just really on the level and just really taken down. People would hear Anonymous and crap themselves, or people would hear about the collective and they'd shit all over. And it's this was what it was, and then people think that when
when Occupy got together and Anonymous, they were one thing. You come to find out that's not the case. Occupy adopted Anonymous into their movement.
Anonymous protected Occupy. That's from.
That's where that is. That's where that is. That's why I use the term adopted, because the protection was there. Well, if you got, so when you got that, and you also got the origin of Anonymous for when they once came, before they were this big-time activist movement, they were LulzSec. They started out as LulzSec, and yes, they did all these major hacks and computer stuff and all that, and it was not for activism. It was not really for any of what Anonymous was and what it still attempts to be. LulzSec did these things just for what it was. The lulz. They messed with you. The trolling was really the art form that it used to be. It wasn't just an annoying pain-in-the-ass kid with furry red hair kicking you in the ass and running all over and coming back at you with a fucking chainsaw if he could lift it. No, that wasn't what it was. Trolling was the art form. It was a way of getting the other user mad as fuck, and it all started on 4chan.
Oh, yeah.
So when 4chan was there, and LulzSec was around, and these guys did what they were doing, this is what they were about. Now, I'm finding this research out later, because I knew the right sources to give the information to me, help me look. It came down to where there was a guy named Zabu. Now, the guy's real name, I forgot, but I posted his story, supposedly in 2015, he told his story of what it was about for him. Well, when you're brought out by the feds and told to cooperate, you're going to say what you have to say. But that sounded like what his confession was to me. Like, come on, I have cousins with the last name Real. So whenever someone tells me get a grip or get real, especially get real, I can't help but want to chuckle because I have cousins with that last name in there, and one of them's a convict, in and out, and one he's free. So when I have that going for me, get real, okay. I got bloodline with that name. Don't tell me something I don't need to hear. So I tend to be a little adolescent-minded in my 30s with that one because that just sounds so non-original. So going back to what I'm saying. So when I hear confessions from Zabu and what he's saying, and this old thing I posted out there, he sounded like he was reciting a playbook confession that the feds, when he told him to say, when you have to confess something in order to get off on something, they end up locking you up anyway. Well, lucky for him, he didn't get locked up anyway. It sounds like they're using him still, even as he's free. But with all that being said, he was a member. He was with LulzSec, and his intel took him down. He got busted first, and he took the rest of the team down. So that's what took down LulzSec, and then Anonymous, which was the movement part of it, was also distrusting other Anons, even with all the mess, because that's how I found out when I started in 2014. I thought Anonymous was all about trusting each other, because if they can trace you, they can trust you. Because I was under the impression all Anons are hackers. Well, if that were true, I'd have a mask. I'd be pushing your buttons better than I am now.
It's more
Thanks. But anyway.
Actually, there's another, either LulzSec.
I know. I came to that.
There's a new LulzSec.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was a new LulzSec or the same LulzSec around, but I was invited into I don't know who it was. I don't remember. I was invited into LulzSec, but I didn't hang out. I've only stayed with my group, and
well, here's the thing. When I was getting into understanding it, I thought all Anons were hackers.
I'm not time for that stuff anyway. I mean, it's just to me, it's unimportant.
It's not unimportant for me to get this out there to people that don't understand what Anonymous is, but supposed to know the difference between the frats and the ones who are hard to the core. So when you hear me speak about it, the origin. So it helps them. So I'm giving give me a chance. So when you got me with that original thinking, if I give them something to work with, they can search me out and find me out, and they'll know I'm real. So when I dealt with a real hacker, I knew when he fucked with me, it was because he wasn't really against me. It's because he was fucking with me. No, that's not your number. I'm like, what do you mean? That is. And then I found out, okay, he's fucking with me. So then I realized I had a friend there, because that was the first thing he did to see how I'd handle it. So he pushed my button to see if I was his friend or not. Found out it was all good. So when I found out that was cool, that's how you'll know an Anon. A true Anon, because some of them will just do that. Some of them will just talk to you. They're all different people. Anonymous is not a membership group. You can't join Anonymous. These were the things I had to find for myself. You can't join Anonymous. There is no membership card. There is no discount for a fucking store, a gas station, bodega, Walmart, retail, etc. Anonymous is you. Anonymous is me. Anonymous is Spent. Anonymous is the individual working at a gas station. Anonymous is the hairdresser. Anonymous is you, the woman or the man.
It's unity. I mean,
And it's unity. It's overall unity. It's you, the girl, or the guy conversating at the bar. Or whatever. One guy wondering if I can get in the chick's pants. Chick's in. If I don't like this guy, I'm going to fucking hack him. So either way, Anonymous is the individual. Because the individual wears the mask. It makes it that simplistic.
Yeah, Anonymous is an idea, and it's like, you know, we're all the same, we're all one, and you know, we want freedom, you know, and bottom line. So yeah, I mean and there's no reason to ever give that up or any of it, even the mass or anything. It's just, you know, there's a lot of people coming in now and infiltrating or whatever you want to call it, and or just, you know, just, I hate to say it, just dipshits that go get a mass and want to be part of a social club and be on, you know, be on Facebook and stuff. You got a lot of that. I don't bother with a lot of that stuff. I don't get involved any more than I've already been. You know, when I got in, I was skeptical of Anonymous when I got in, but I went and marched with them, and I marched with the big dogs and met people that need, you know, that are the real deal. So I was lucky. You know, meet the people. I'm not going to go name names, but I was lucky, and they know who they are. The people, you know, I call them the big dogs. You know, they're people that really do that make Anonymous great. But you've got so many people that just masked up and talk shit and start trouble and just don't do shit anyway, like, you know, armchair activists. And it's really brought it down. And now, like, the big dogs are really just like, you know, banning it. We're just chilling out. We, you know, separating themselves. I'm like, don't give up on the idea, guys. Don't give up on the idea. Don't give up, you know, like, yeah, we know what's going on with the newbies or the new fags or whatever anyone wants to call. Hey, I'm a newbie, man. I mean, I've only been around Anonymous for a couple of years, but again, you know, I roll with the right people, and you know, but the people I trust, I've gotten to trust and meet great people. And I hold to them and the idea, so I don't want to give up on it. But as far as the rest of them that they're fucking Anonymous up, fuck them. You know, let them play right now. But you know, eventually the big dogs are gonna mask up again, and we're gonna make shit happen. So that's all I gotta say. I mean, people want to give up on it, whatever, for now. But you know, I'm still here for the fight, for the idea. Spin can't go nowhere. At least not for a few more years. I'm getting older. I'll disappear eventually, but right now, I'm still rock and rolling. I ain't giving up. So I'm going to get on radio. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do what I got to do.
I call my form of activism radioactivism. Because when you're radio and you're on radio, you're using that to be active upon helping others. So it's radioactivism.
I think radio right now is the best way to get across your message.
Oh, it is, because the message gets faster. And you know what? It's better.
Typing and getting in troll matches on Facebook and preaching to the choir and just posting the same memes and videos. You're reaching people that sometimes don't have all the information that they should have. And then they start going looking and they educate themselves. You know, every time I've been on a Super Show, you know, every time I've ever done anything on a Friday Super Show, or any show, you know, whether it's JRAV or NWO Radio, every time in your show, every time I get off, one of my, you know, my final thoughts or the you know, last word, whatever you want to call it, is always educate yourselves. Always seek the truth, no matter what. You know, I say the same thing every time, but it's the truth. I mean, that is what we got to do: educate ourselves, keep learning, and always seek the truth. There's no other mission, you know, besides waking people up and planting seeds. That way, when you do that, you can do that. You can wake people up and plant seeds.
Well, and that's
every time I'd leave the show every night, whatever show it may be, especially when it's me and Lee, you know, doing the Friday Super Show. You know, for 2.5 months, I co-hosted the Friday Super Show when Dennis was gone. You know, I was stepping into some big shoes, and you know, made it happen, and we had some great shows, and Dennis loved it and appreciated it, and he was like, yeah, man, thanks. You know, he thanked me for it, and, you know, I thank him for just being awesome and coming back, and, you know, I'm glad to see the Super Show back together again. to the tag team champs. So,
Well, on that subject, do you have any final thoughts? Because, it's getting late, and I figured we'll wrap things
we're
up.
running out of time. We're making good points here, and it's always, to me, the final thoughts are always educate yourself on this, and all the whole thing, the problem, the solution, the anarchy. Educate yourself on anarchy. Educate yourself on the moon cycle. I'm looking up the moon's going to be full here in a couple of days. The moon cycle itself, you understand it, will teach you that the Earth ain't flat. There's a lot of other things. Simple things, just learning, educating yourselves, understanding things, using logic and reason, common sense, along with facts, proof, and evidence, will give you a belief system that's genuine and not falsely implanted by something you want to believe or something that's more exciting than boring to seek the truth. If the truth is boring, then so what? It's still the truth. That's your ultimate goal. If it's too boring for you, don't add aliens. Don't waste your time with all this stuff. Just find the truth, keep preaching the freaking truth, and keep searching for the truth.
And that's your final thought?
Well, and to keep planting seeds and keep waking other people up. So in our search for freedom, for humanity, this is our search for freedom for humanity. That's what you got to do. Be a truth seeker. Find the truth, and the truth is freedom.
Well, on the subject,
Freedom for all humanity. And there you go, guys. I can't say it any better. I can talk to anybody else who wants to talk to me about stuff and ask questions. I'm always around. I'm Spent Cat. But that's it, man. That sums it up in the gist of things, man.
well, on that note,
Terms, if you want to call it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
just.
did everything. We had a good show there, Biggie.
Yeah, we sure have. And I'm just gonna wrap it up on that. I don't really have a final thought. That pretty much sums it up all well. And I just want to thank the audience for listening to our show. I'm E-Psych. This is Spent Cat. And ladies and gentlemen, good night. Maybe next time we'll have a actual time and day in which we will be doing the show where you will have a more easy time trying to find us to listen online.
We'll keep rocking.
We sure will do so. Well, I'm just going to click the off button and just say good night.